So, hello, welcome back to The Naudible.
The Naudible.
And speaking of
Naudible.
Speaking of click click,
Oh, click click boom, tick tick tune.
there was a trailer out this week for is it a film or series? I can't remember. Called Wednesday. On
Oh, I think I did hear of it.
Flick of the Necks.
The Necks of Flicks.
Yes. Oh, it's a series.
Okay.
Yes. I'll post it in here for you if you want to peruse at your leisure.
Okay.
I mean, it doesn't
Probably
really.
wait till the show starts, maybe.
Oh, it started now.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know if.
One day then.
Yeah. What was I saying? Yeah,
On the scroll.
It's it looks all right. What I liked the most from the trailer was the girl playing Wednesday does a really good evil smirk.
Okay.
And it really sells the character.
From the trailer as well, is the rest of the family in it?
Yes.
Okay, cool. As long as it's not just like focusing mainly on her, well, it probably, but
Well, yeah.
as long as the rest of them are there.
They're in it, yes.
Yeah.
There are one or two things you might recognise.
Oh.
Thing is in it.
Yeah, I mean, be silly not to have it. Although, technically, I think in some of the original comics, he wasn't even depicted as like a hand.
Oh.
He was kind of just meant to be this unseen thing. Just always looking in or under or behind something. I believe it was something like that. And then for the 60s series, they had to think of some way of visualizing things. So they hand in a box.
Fair enough.
Band in a hox.
Band in a hox. Band in your cocks.
Oh.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
Rubber bands snap back onto my cocks.
So also in the TV roundup.
Christian's TV roundup.
Do you know?
Here's
Well, I
what
suppose
you've got to watch.
It's kind of the Netflix roundup, honestly.
That's just TV nowadays, though, isn't it?
Do you know Guillermo del Toro? Who?
The name does sound familiar.
He did Hellboy, the first modern Hellboy.
Ice cream van.
Oh shit! Get me a 99, please.
I'll pass it down through the microphone.
Yeah. Push it through the Gauze.
Yeah.
Might be the episode title. We'll see how it goes. He also did Pan's Labyrinth.
Okay.
But I've
heard of him. Yeah.
He's helming an anthology horror series on Netflix called Guillermo del Toro's Cabinet of Curiosities.
He's hellboyming, you might say.
Yes, you might. But you shouldn't. Alex ain't going to join us. He's just sent a transmission. But I think it's fair enough.
I kind of assumed when he had replied.
Yeah.
And he's just gone through some shit. So
yes. After that distraction, what are we doing? Podcast. That's right. Yes. So Guillermo del Toro's Cabinet of Curiosities is a horror anthology. It looks pretty good. It looks spoopy. I mean, Guillermo del Toro is renowned for directing and producing things that look
spoopy.
Fantastic and spoopy. So yeah. But
that's very gothic-esque sort of.
What tickled my turtle was the fact that. Two of the episodes are, one of them is Dreams in the Witch House and the other one is Pickman's Model, and both of those are short stories by H.P. Lovecraft, whom I am a fan of his stories, if not the person. So I'm looking forward to seeing them on screen. Pickman's Model was one of my favourites when I read through these short stories, so that'd be good. Dreams in the Witch House I quite liked, but it's like one of his most universally loathed ones. But you never know.
It might be done justice with a good director.
Yeah. No, that's it. Each one has a different director. I think he's producing them.
Oh, okay. But yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, for all the Lovecraft fans out there, we'll finally get to see Brown Jenkin on screen, I hope, which is a little rat with a man's face.
Fair. Nice. Okay.
Yeah, hopefully we see some. I think Dreams in the Witch House. We see some elder things which be good to see them on screen. It's one step closer to getting at the Mountains of Madness on screen in film version, which is Lovecraft's best story by a mile. It's so good. It's like you read it and it's like reading the script to a modern thriller. It's a fantastic story, and like Guillermo del Toro has been trying to make a film of it for about 15 years, and it's just fallen through all the time. I think he had Tom Cruise lined up to star in it, but then the financial crisis hit in 2008, and it just dropped off a cliff. Anyway, hopefully this will pave the way.
Well, yeah.
Oh, sorry, I went off on one about Lovecraft. Then it's good shit.
I haven't got any news, so it's fine. I had my TV of the year up, but I've closed that now because.
Yeah. And when it was up, but now it is down. It is down. And when it is only halfway up, your computer's crashed.
Yeah, it's not moving anymore.
So I've made notes of various things throughout the week, but I can't remember what they all are. Oh yeah, here we are. So another one from the website Futility Closet that I mentioned a couple of weeks ago.
Okay.
Or last week. In 1913, Canadian politician, so this is in First World War, Sam Hughes proposed the MacAdam shield shovel, a spade that could double as a protective shield in the trenches. It was provided with a hole through which a soldier could survey the enemy. Some 20,000 had been manufactured before it was discovered that the blade was not remotely bulletproof, and it wasn't much use as a shovel because there was a hole in it.
Okay, that's kind of amazing. Yeah. That sounds like the plot to like a sitcom. That's like an unwritten Blackadder series 4 episode.
Yeah.
Where they sort of plan to get out of the trenches by inventing this brilliant thing. And that's what it took.
Because it'd be something that George or Baldrick comes up with, and Blackadder thinks it's a stupid idea, but then everyone loves it.
Yeah, until it does eventually fall through at the end, and then they're back at square one. Yeah. Well, if we ever write our Chillionaire remake of Blackadder, everything's got to have a Chillionaire remake.
Yeah, everything's rebooted. Nothing original exists, as we said last week. Oh dear. Final thing from the news, this one from the world of technology. So,
the sound of technology ringing in your ears.
In 1989, Janet Jackson from the Jacksons released a song called Rhythm Nation, which, when you played it on certain old laptops, would just crash the laptop. Because one of, like, you know how you get like a frequency of sound, it perfectly matched a natural resonant frequency of one of the hard drive in the laptop, which stopped the laptop and made it crash.
Oh, Jesus.
I haven't actually read this article. So, the manufacturer had to write a special audio filter that detected that song and filtered it out before it came out of the speaker. So that particular frequency wasn't in it.
Yeah.
So
like
this...
like 20 years before even something was invented is messing with something that was invented, sort of thing. Yeah.
So I like this author of the article on Rock Paper Shotgun says, "Perfect. Janet Jackson was too powerful. Just perfect. I choose to believe this story entirely."
Yeah. No.
It does remind me of there was an old Apple, I think it was an Apple computer, where...
I mean, there's been lots of old Apple computers, Christian. But,
there was. Did you know that? Oh, okay. I won't. Anyway, I'll tell you my other fact then, which was that the...
It was a specific old Apple computer.
Yes. I think it was the case that for design purposes, they didn't put enough vents on it or something, and so it overheated.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And so, like, one of the
components... literally blew up.
Not quite, but one of the components, as, like, the things, expanded and warped inside it, one of the components would pop out.
Oh, okay.
And the official Apple technical support guidance for your computer, if that happened, was to pick it up about 30 centimeters off the floor and drop it, which would knock the component back into place and enable you to use it again.
Well, just pick the computer up and drop it?
Yeah.
Okay. No, I mean... maybe that's where the sort of like commonplace of people hitting their computer to get it to work comes from.
Yeah. Little percussive maintenance.
Yeah.
It's got to be when
No,
you had like moving parts and stuff. Like giving someone a whack would generally do something, wouldn't it? Like,
rejigger it all sort of
yeah.
thing. Yeah. No, I thought you were going to say the computer overheats to the point that it becomes nuclear and just melts through the floor.
Yeah, like a sort of bath of acid.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of Breaking Bad in particular.
Oh, I don't know.
Speaking of which, actually, the Breaking Bad
Oh.
sequel, Better Call Saul, had its last episode this week, which was
Oh, okay.
excellent.
I haven't seen
It was a perfect
either,
little
but
bookend to the entire franchise. I presume that's it. Now they've kind of told all the stories, unless they start doing what Star Wars does and do a spin-off for every minor character.
I was gonna say, in today's world, you never know.
No.
If it makes money, it makes a series.
Yeah. But yeah, I hope they keep it as it is, because it's been so kind of perfectly written throughout. They haven't, I'm thinking
Jump
particularly
any kind of sharking.
Yeah, but I mean, particularly with things like Star Wars, it seems like they just kind of put things in it for like a bit to put in the trailer, or so that fans blog about it.
Yeah.
Blog about it. What is this, 2010? But yeah, they've just written a good story and left it at that sort of things. It felt like an end.
Okay.
Felt like an end.
Felt like love went into it.
Yeah. It's great. People watching haven't watched it. It's the whole franchise is super duper. Add it to your list.
So it's on the scroll somewhere.
Scroll, that's it, yeah.
But it is on the scroll after Breaking Bad, which is slightly further up the scroll, but not as far. But it's still quite a long scroll.
Yes. Oh, man. That's all the news.
Oh,
I suppose other than we spoke about the
you've
heat
used
wave.
up all your usefulness.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Time for me to hero myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've had all these heat waves and stuff. It absolutely shat it down this week several times,
Yeah.
which was quite nice.
It's
If you're not out in it, I guess.
Well, yeah, but even today it's sort of a bit like it's not raining, but it's just cooler. It's
Yeah.
not unbearable.
I'm still in shorts and t-shirt, but I had to put socks on earlier because my feet were cold.
Oh.
We hit the depressing part of the year where the weather gradually gets worse and worse.
I know, but considering how long this particular summer's been, I'm not so. It's
Yeah.
all right, fair enough.
We don't have a hose pipe ban in this district yet,
No,
but they're popping up all over the country. Not that I would use my hose pipe for anything anyway.
Although, I mean, for the first time ever, I've seen signs up at, like, not the park near mine, but a little park slightly further up that are saying, please don't have barbecues, you might set the grass on fire.
Yeah. I thought that I walked through Blaze the other day and saw like the telltale like charred square of grass. I thought, because you look around and the rest of the field is literally
Blaze the
straw.
other day, and the entire forest had been burnt down.
It was ablaze.
It was ablaze.
Yeah.
You went up Blaze, and it was ablaze.
Yeah,
So blaze, you blaze. Yeah.
if the only thing that could affect people like us who don't hosepipe things is if they put hosepipe bans everywhere and people ignore it, then there could be just like a water metering sort of thing where everyone they'll kind of like switch the water off at a certain point each day or something like that. Yeah. Tell people to go and use standpipes on the street corner and shit like that. Like we have to, when you see on Children in Need and Comic Relief and stuff, when they have the little film of someone out in Africa, and the person has to walk to the next town to get some water.
Yeah,
it would be exactly like that.
Ours would probably be like Crow Lane or something.
Yeah. And mine might be Riding Lees actually.
Okay.
And there you are. You can triangulate our locations from that information. Our exact locations.
Exact locations. Yeah, because they know Blazes on the map as well now.
That's true. So, yeah. So if I gave a third location and said like, and then chose a midpoint between those, and then I guess a bearing and a distance. Oh, that's too complicated.
I gave up after that. Yeah.
Basically, if I gave you or the people at home
my address, you'd be able to find it.
Yeah, exactly. It's funny that, isn't it?
Yeah. Didn't know it worked that way, but...
Oh, dear. Boop.
Oh.
That reminds me, actually. Oh, sorry. Were you saying something?
No. I added your boop.
Okay, I just said
You
boop as I
booped,
closed.
and
Yeah, it was me closing a web page. Sorry if the splashback got you.
I got the internet splashback.
Yes. So we were talking about Chairman Rose's terrible plan last time.
Oh yeah.
Thanks to Panster, who pointed out that he didn't plan to destroy the world, as I said. He was going to harness the power of Death Dragon to ensure that Galar didn't hit the energy crisis.
Okay.
But the stupid part was that crisis was hundreds of years away.
Yeah. It was. Doesn't matter what parts we got wrong. It was still stupid.
Yeah. Yeah, he underestimated how powerful Eternatus was. So it broke out.
Don't underestimate my power.
It broke out and flipped things up instead of fucked shit up.
Yeah.
But I couldn't think of an alternative for shit, so that started with S. Flipped scat away. I think even scat would be too rude for people who said flip, wouldn't it?
Scuffed?
Flipped scuff up.
Flip scuff up.
Maybe just say stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. That would be the simplest one.
Oh, that's never been an option.
No. We're not peasants. We don't use simple options.
No.
We go for overcomplicated and not nonsensical. That is not nonsensical.
Knots and sensical. But that's it. That's all I've got to say.
Yeah.
Nothing else has happened.
Wow. Might have to be a shorten. I mean, the biggest news among the entire group is probably Alex's news, but we'll probably leave that to him when he does return from whatever galaxy he's in.
Yeah.
If Riley goes off to Andromeda, where does
I don't know.
Alex go off to?
Triangulum. That's another galaxy in our local group.
Yeah.
There's Milky Way, Andromeda, and Triangulum.
Well, yeah, because it's not so much the same though, is it? Because it's not so much an audio in frequency; it's just he wasn't there, so you just get lost in like the Bermuda Triangle of space or something.
He phased into another dimension accidentally.
Yeah. There we go.
So occasionally we still hear his voice.
Yeah,
he's not actually here.
No, so we'll wait for him to phase back properly, and then we'll let him actually explain all that if he wants to.
Alex is all into ghosts and all that crap. Maybe he's crossed into like the spirit realm by accident.
Oh yeah, he's what is it, like astral presence or something?
Yeah. Do you like the sensitive way I handled that as well?
He's into all that ghost shit and that, isn't he? He's into all that bollocks. He's one of those cultists, isn't he?
Yeah.
What would it be next? Flat Earth?
God, I'm not. I think he's too clever. He's got enough of a brain for that, isn't it?
Like you can give people a pass for believing that kind of stuff because it's probably more possible than half the other shit other people come up with. I'd believe in ghosts over Flat Earth any day.
Yeah, definitely. The ghost thing is interesting, like from a purely like scientific point of view. What happens to the electrical impulses in our brain when we die? Like it's I always thought you could do a kind of scientific ghost story where just like someone's electricity like jumped into a nearby lamppost or something and then shot out into someone, and that was a ghostly presence sort of thing.
But yeah, like what if ghosts as we know it aren't actually like ghosts, but it's like interdimensional energies or something that has come from a different multiverse?
There's so much.
Our electromagnetic brains go to a different universe, and the ones we're receiving are from a different, Because when you start playing with usable sci-fi answers for ghosts any day.
When you start getting into higher dimensions, it's just. I mean, it's from a literal point of view, we literally cannot comprehend higher dimensions.
That's it.
So it's like if
anything is possible.
Yeah. So like.
Grand scope of the multiverse.
You have some kind of weird kind of cross section where suddenly something juts out through the fourth dimension, and that could be what a ghost is, sort of thing.
Yeah, it's It's too complicated for me to understand, but it's also really fucking cool.
Yeah.
That's the kind of shit I'm into.
On a serious note, most of it is down to what happens in your brain. That's the
Okay.
That's Christian's skeptic answer.
Okay. I'm a little less skeptic than you, but a little more skeptic than Alex.
Yeah.
Septic?
Yeah.
I'm a little bit more septic than everyone else, but it's fine. It's all the piercings. They get a bit septic now and then. It's a norm. You get used to it. Bit of oozage here and there.
I do. Speaking of flat Earths, actually, flat Earths reminded me of this video I watched. It popped up on YouTube once. It was like someone's response to a flat earther YouTuber's response to their video about flat Earth. You know how YouTube is.
Yeah.
And it was just a really good takedown of the whole, just the idiocy of these people's arguments. And he kept saying, like, just because you don't understand something doesn't mean it's not real. Which is pretty much the crux of the whole thing.
Fair.
Yeah. I always think, like, someone in ancient Greek times figured out the circumference of the Earth with, like, basic trigonometry that they teach in schools nowadays. Like, it's just because you don't understand how that works, it doesn't mean it's not just a mathematical fact. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't understand how a video player works, but they still exist.
Yeah.
If I took the time to learn it, then I would understand it, and etc.
Saying stuff like that, I'm opening myself up to criticism about my like blanket denial of things. But show me some evidence, and I'll reconsider. That's my
well, yeah, no, that's fair.
Yes, I'd like to think ghosts and shit were real because I want to hang around and see what's going on after I pop my clogs.
Or something at least. Yeah. I'd like to think it's more than just what Torchwood says, and it's just dark. There's nothing. Something chasing you in the dark.
Wouldn't you just love to be a mischievous poltergeist?
Oh yeah. If you were, you'd be peevesing it up all day, wouldn't you?
Yeah. But the thing is, like, boredom. What would you do when you got bored or something? You wouldn't be able to do anything. You wouldn't be able to sleep. You'd have to constantly be finding new things to do, which I guess is why poltergeists go bad, because they
are just twats, because they're just finding stuff to preoccupy their time.
Yeah. I'm gonna sneak into this girl's bedroom and lift her up in the air. That's what happens with ghosts, isn't it?
Yeah, not quite that. I was gonna say if you when we get to Star Trek Next Generation, have sex with one of the characters.
Wow, I didn't know that.
I think there is an episode where, like, metaphorically, Beverly Crusher has sex with a ghost.
That's
we'll get to that eventually.
That's one of Richard Herring's emergency questions. If you have sex with a ghost, is it cheating? And, like, underneath,
are you
he always
in a
just
relationship in the first place?
Well, if you're in a relationship and then you have sex with a ghost, are you cheating?
Okay.
And he has the same question about a robot as well. And, like, he always just says, no, you're not, because you're not having sex with someone else. That's the answer. He's really adamant on this.
Now, you see, I'd say you could split that either way. For the ghost, you could sort of say that it used to be a person and it has got, like, the essence of another person. So yes, it would be cheating. That one's less clear-cut, yeah. But a robot is pretty much just like using a vibrator or a fleshlight or something. Yeah. That is more physically a tool than, say... Yeah.
Just remind... There's a bit in the Russell the Davis series, Years and Years, which is set in the near future.
What, Doctor Who? I mean,
one of the characters, the lady, is, like, dating, and she goes on a date with this bloke who has a son, and he has, like, this because it's in the near future, he has, like, this sort of helper robot sort of thing.
Okay.
It's not like, not like a robot, like, in the sci-fi sense, but just, you can program it to do certain things, and it'll, like, give responses back to the kid and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
And then at one point when she's staying over there the night, she goes looking for something in, like, one of the drawers, and she finds a mouth attachment for the robot that has, like, a flashlight in it.
Oh, okay.
He immediately breaks up with the man, and the man's like, I get lonely, I've been single for ages.
I mean,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh.
Grey areas, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, it's a great series, that. Years and years. Add it to the scroll, please.
I'm still unraveling it. Hold on.
I was picturing like a team of monks in a monastery, like all scribing and maintaining this library of things that.
So yeah, what years and years of
Man.
Better Call Saul.
If you got Breaking Bad on there, I would just include it on.
Because
what if you get a series into Breaking Bad and you think, well, that was rubbish?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
And if you do that, we're not
if I
friends
did
anymore.
eventually got round to watching Breaking Bad, you'd assume I just kind of attach the sequel series as a sequel.
And don't forget the film El Camino.
Okay. Don't worry. Normally, if I'm the sort that starts to binge a series, I do look into like watch orders and.
Yeah.
So, for example, like Kamen Rider and Sentai, where I go and make sure we've got all of like the little specials and the movies in between the episodes and shit.
Yeah.
Even if they're not that good or way too long, but you never know. Some of the future ones might be better.
Yeah. I was kind of like reorganizing some of my TV folders earlier, and I was thinking that kind of watch order scenario will get really confusing if someone starts watching all the new Disney series, because there's so many sort of like parallel runnings and films and everything. It's kind of like the Next Generation, Voyager, Deep Space Nine sort of scenario, I suppose, isn't it?
Where they're all running alongside each other.
Well, they're saying that. I think the series and things for Star Wars were all separate. It's just you kind of go, series 1 of this, series 3 of this, series 4 of this, series 2 of this, series 5 of this sort of thing.
Although, I think we have talked about this before. I can't remember what we said though. When we get to Next Gen, Voyager, and Deep Space Nine, what are we gonna like look up the broadcast dates for each episode and watch it in that order or something?
I would say that personally.
Yeah, I don't mind doing that, and that it'll give it a bit of variety when we get to that point.
Yeah,
because we won't always be with the same group. We'll be every now and then. We'll come back to cool. We'll have to look it up when we get there, though. But I don't think that starts until like around series 4 or 5 of Next Gen. So
okay.
We're pretty simple until then.
Yeah, we are simple.
We've always been simple.
Yes. And you can see all of those reactions over on TS Reactions, which is linked from the Inaudible YouTube channel.
Actually, I believe... No, it wasn't the most recent one. Was the one before the most recent upload was a Star Trek. So, on the 15th of August, we've just started season 2. With a mock time.
I haven't
and his puberty hormone.
Oh yeah. I haven't kept up to date with your uploads, but I see Spaceballs is up. I'll have to give that a watch.
Spaceballs is up, yes. And then tomorrow, planned to be uploaded, is the first episode of Angel.
Oh, more than an angle.
For the start of our sci-fi swap.
Nice.
The next Star Trek will be on the 26th of August, if any, because we were speaking of Star Trek.
Ah, yes. Now, speaking of Star Trek, I've been looking. I don't know if
Star Trek.
I don't know if I've missed it, but I kept on looking out for the episode where we murder-suicided at the end.
Oh God!
I shot you and then shot myself with your gun.
I swear I mean, I wouldn't have edited it in any fancy way if that's what you're looking out for, because Star Trek, I don't tend to edit in that way.
Okay. So look forward to that. And, well, that's it. I've said everything about that.
Well.
on Invisible Tower, I've almost finished me a World Conquest, which I'm pretty chuffed about. First one I've ever done.
Okay.
Now that I've done that, I don't have to do it again. First real one, anyway. That's not important right now. And over on Christian 444, I've just this evening finished editing Minecraft number 46 from the 1st of March, which was called
catching up.
which was called Winky Bearing Hips.
Ooh.
And then I'll start to catch up rapidly now, because the next 7 videos we just do, the only video per week is one Minecraft, so I'll rapidly catch up to nearer present day. Oh, the next thing on my list is my Wheel of Time rant.
Oh.
Well, I've got a plan for that, so hopefully that won't take too long to do.
Reel of Wine Tant.
Yeah, I watched a guy's video about why the series was crap, and his video was about an hour long, and it made all the same points I made in my 20-minute rant, and I was thinking, should have edited my rant a while ago. Oh well.
No, fair.
I'm gonna do it now. I put a little disclaimer at the start saying I recorded this on the 2nd of March, 2022.
Yeah. No, yeah, the next lot for it, so we've got Angel, then it'll be Stranger Things Episode 1, then it'll be Star Trek 2.2, then we'll have a tidbit, which is a decent amount of lineage, and then we'll have our next sitcom swap.
Sock him swip.
And then we'll have episode 49 of Reizu Redigitized, Digimon Adventure Reactions. Then there'll be episode 11 of Kamen Rider X-Aid. Then there'll be episodes 3 and 4 of Star Trek TOS.
As Lambon.
And that'll take us up to the 8th of September.
Oh.
And that gives me a nice couple of weeks to edit the next one.
This year. Okay.
This year, yeah.
I'm so used to thinking of dates in the past when I edit things.
Oh, okay.
I was like, blimey, you're far behind. And then I realised it's actually September in 2 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've got a nice good 2.5 weeks to try and get the next lot of editings.
Nice.
Editings. But I am back to work on Monday.
Ooh.
So I won't have as much editing times, but I will still try to.
Oh yeah, the schools will be back in a couple of weeks, won't they? So I won't...
Yep.
I'll have all my shower water nicked by my neighbours in the mornings again. I just fucking look at their bathroom tap and I lose half my shower water. It's quite nice in the holidays, I get to just have a normal shower.
Yeah, I guess that's the downside to living in a block of flutes.
Yeah, it might be different on modern ones, but definitely on this one, we're all on like the same pipe that goes up, so it's,
God, yeah, I don't know how long has your block of flats existed.
They were built in the 50s.
50s, yeah, shit.
There's pictures out there of like the neighbourhood after they were built, because they were kind of, a bit of news, like these new flats in the new neighbourhood sort of thing. And it's literally just like rolling fields and hills and just these flats in the middle of it, just in the middle of nowhere.
Oh, okay. Where like all the rest of like it goes up the hill towards like Blaze Way.
Yeah.
You know what hill I'm on about? Not the hill, but the little inner hill.
Yeah.
And then obviously, because you are literally on a hill. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. It's quite funny. There's Bristol City Council actually have a website where you can look at all the historical maps of Bristol throughout the centuries. And if you look at...
you might have just narrowed down which
city.
Area.
Oh shit!
Yeah. That as well, and you've given the date your block of flats were built in.
True.
You've sort of said the general.
But there are about 7 of these blocks of flats here. So.
Yeah, but it's narrowed down.
True.
Someone just has to hang around the whole area for enough time to hear your voice.
I'm going to make it potentially even easier now by saying, when you look at these historical maps, it's like until the 50s, when this housing estate was first built, it's all just like farms, and the farms all have names and such. But the names of the farms, I recognise them all because they're all the names of roads around here now.
Oh.
So it's just really weird. I find it kind of strange to think that. I know, like when my nan was growing up, she lived around this area, and she was like, she used to go out.
I remember back in my day, this was farmland.
If literally Crow Lane was a lane, and if you walked off the back of Crow Lane, it was just farms and farms and farms and farms.
Jeez. That's one thing I would like to do with a time machine is go back and see our area, but
Yeah.
like years ago.
I've often thought, you know, you sometimes get like sci-fi stories and stuff where someone gets transported back in time or forward or whatever. Like someone wrote a really good short story on Reddit once that was this unit of US army people just randomly got transported back into Rome and Italy, and it was like how that went down. Bit of a wacky premise, but it was really well written. And I always thought, like, what would happen if I just went zap back to Roman times where I am now? And I thought, well, I'm in a first floor flat, so I would just fall and break my coccyx.
Oh, yeah.
Unless I was in a tree.
You got lucky, yeah.
Yeah. And there'd just be nothing here. There's like the ruined Roman villa down the road, narrowing it down even more. That I just have to hope that they were nice, and because they'd just be otherwise I'd have to walk to Bath, sell myself into slavery or something.
Because I mean, I'm on the first floor as well, so I'd probably just fall and die as well.
Yeah, might not die, but I don't think you'd be comfortable.
Okay. No. So you probably wouldn't be able to walk to Bath.
Oh yeah. I just had to drag myself. Oh there. Yeah, what were we talking about before this? I've completely forgotten.
I don't know.
Oh, the water, yeah. Because when I was going into the office, the summer holidays and any holidays were great, and I used to try and make sure I didn't book annual leave on those days or weeks, because the buses were empty, the roads were empty. I could get a bus that was 20 minutes later and get into work the same time, sometimes even earlier. No one on the bus. It was brilliant. It doesn't matter now anymore. It's just the water in the shower.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's probably a good time to stop.
Well, yeah, blimey.
Blimey.
And that
Animation. So
we'd evolved into this kind of language. Yeah.
Thanks for listening, everyone. Speak to you all, or you will hear us. We'll speak to you.
Nichols week.
Yes.
Hopefully.
In the week of the next. So thanks for listening.
Oh.
See you then. Bye.
Bye.
And there we go.